United Workers Union members are the highest paid airport security in the Southern Hemisphere. That didn't happen by accident. That happened when union members came together, fought and won really great enterprise agreements.
So we've delivered a package together with the company that has brought increase in pay, job security, really important that one, and improved conditions.
That's what's called enterprise bargaining. I'll leave it to the resident experts to give you more detail on that.
Let's look at the building blocks that construct strong wages and conditions for workers in Australia. The foundation of our workplace rights is the NES, the National Employment Standard. Think of the NES as your frame, the very minimum standard for workers. If you're not receiving these basic standards, then your employment is unstable and likely illegal. Next up, we have awards. No, not the Employee of the Week type awards. Awards are the name of the minimum standards in specific industries. An award covers what job you're doing, your hourly pay rate, and your working conditions. There are 122 of them, and they're all listed here on the Fair Work Commission website. They cover everything from cleaners to zoo staff. Next, we've got the big ticket item, enterprise bargaining agreements, or just agreements. Agreements cover similar things to awards, but they're like a premium. That's where you get to choose your own special features and additions. An agreement is a deal between employees and their employer that's tailored to their specific workplace or company. Agreements include better pay and conditions than the award, more relevance to your work and workplace, and they can't leave you worse off than under the award. United Workers Union, that's us, regularly negotiates enterprise agreements, like our airport workers. But we'll come back to that in a sec. Which brings us to the final bit, the boot. The boot stands for the Better Off Overall Test. It means what it sounds like. No agreement can be worse than the award or minimum wage.
Mama boots the house down.
And if it is, the Fair Work Commission will come after that employer. Let's look more closely at agreements. If you've ever heard bad things about agreements, it's probably because employers don't usually like them. I wonder why. Chief economist at the Australian Institute, Greg Jericho, agrees that most employers don't like wage growth. He says enterprise agreements have long been disliked by companies and business groups because they deliver better wage growth because they enable workers to combine their bargaining power, often and most effectively through representation by a union. So what does he mean? How did our UWU members at Melbourne Airport use bargaining to win higher wages and manage to get their employer to agree? Agreements last about 3 to 4 years, and at Melbourne Airport, theirs was up for renewal. There's a whole set of rules and timeframes about how to begin the bargaining process because it's a legal process. First, to make negotiations easier, workers form a smaller group called a bargaining committee. Then comes the fun bit. All employees get together and make a list of the ways they want to improve their working conditions. We call this a log of claims. Some of the things that United Workers Union members have asked for and won in various workplaces include heat stress entitlements, 38-degree heat limits so you don't suffer at work, disaster leave for when floods and fires prevent you from working, cultural leave for First Nations people, gender affirmation leave, special leave for people who are transitioning, reproductive leave for people who have problems with menstrual cycles, and even birthday leave. Yep, a special day of leave just for you. Some of the more common conditions won in agreements are things like making casual employees permanent, more breaks, more flexible shifts, higher super, and so on. The sky really is the limit when it comes to your log of claims. But the really important part is that you have to have a majority of workers in favour of the conditions you're asking for. This is why enterprise bargaining is also known as collective bargaining. Workers outnumber the boss, so we have the numbers to win the conditions we want through the bargaining process. Bargaining can take time, but when members stick together, we succeed. When it comes to voting to make your agreement official, you just need to make sure you have the majority of workers on board.
This is Democracy Manifest.
In just 1 year, United Workers Union members negotiated over 340 agreements, covering thousands of members. It's a lot of info, I know. But you might still be wondering about how we can win agreements when employers don't usually like them. Sometimes workers have to use their power in numbers and take action to pressure their employer. This is called industrial action.
Krusty Krab is unfair! Mr. Krabs is in there!
It doesn't always mean strike. It can mean simple things like wearing campaign stickers or displaying them at work, or refusing to do certain duties for certain blocks of time.
Well, I won't be doing that.
But if an employer won't bend, sometimes a strike is a critical and important last option. Workers can be scared of strikes because stopping work means no pay, right? But we know industrial action works. And in many cases, just the threat of industrial action is enough to convince your employer to bend. And finally, don't forget, when your agreement has been voted in and approved by the Fair Work Commission, it's legally enforceable. Breaching an agreement comes with a range of consequences: investigations, court proceedings, and even fines. Unfortunately, some employers don't think they have to follow the agreement even after signing it. And that's why it's a good idea to stay involved in your union. So, what would you change at your workplace and how? Here's a hint. To make it happen, join your union.
There's a lot here to be excited about.
Subscribe to our channel and learn more about your workplace rights.